Mac and cheese sound just right though. You're gonna be in heaven. Let's show you some.
Hey, so Kale Splasher Rose, Laila Milky, working with my favorite Plant Wish. We're gonna collab today to show you guys a few of our Thanksgiving favorites that are plant-based and vegan. You know, I've been vegan for 2 years now, but I really didn't want to go to my family's house and watch everybody else enjoy things and just only eat Brussels sprouts. So today I'm making my own Thanksgiving feast, and later on I'm gonna be celebrating my beloved family. I'm gonna first show you guys my first step of what's Thanksgiving without mashed potatoes. So we're gonna boil the potatoes. I'm gonna let them boil for about 10-15 minutes until they get soft so I can prep them. And then later on, we will show you the magic we put inside of them so they can taste delicious. And I'm telling you, you won't know the difference. My mom loves dairy. I make these for her and she tears them up, period. Food and wellness restaurant in Tacoma Park, and they always put ginger in their sweet potatoes, which really sets it apart. So this year my thought was to make kind of like a vegan butter sauce with nutmeg, cinnamon. I'm gonna add a little turmeric, not too much because I don't want it to be overly potent, and then I'm gonna grate some of this ginger root in it, and then I'm gonna pour it over my yams, which I've been prepped, and I'm gonna then bake it. And after that we're gonna get into the stuffing. Then I also have some roasted Brussels sprouts over there that I seasoned with some Trader Joe's onion salt, a little bit of crushed chili flakes, grapeseed oil. I no longer cook with olive oil anymore. And I have my oyster mushrooms are gonna be my Thanksgiving turkey. I'm not really too into I'm not hating on the vegan turkey loaves, but I rather just, old-fashioned fried chicken with a crunch, but with some oyster mushrooms from H Mart, which I love. Very affordable and tasty. And then we're gonna finish off with our mac and cheese. And then also, I believe I'm gonna saute some kale and spinach because I have to have at least 2 greens. I love this brand, Cadia. If you're looking for something organic and you're worried about your budget, this almond milk, I know some people have, feelings about almonds, but I love cooking with it, and it's only $1.99. So when people say vegan food is expensive, I'm sorry, fam, but it's actually pretty affordable. How much was your turkey? My turkey was only $5. And then I have organic onions, celery, and mushrooms that I'm gonna put into my stuffing. I just kind of use the classic Pepperidge Farm and keep it easy with some vegan butter, and then also some vegetable stock. And then I just think you should just cook with love. When you don't worry as much and you just cook with love, everything flows. And then shout out to my girl Laila. I'm gonna be using her recipe with the mac and cheese. So basically this is vegan butter. Instead of putting it in the microwave, I put 1 stick of this in here, and then I'm gonna basically grate flavor into it. So I'm gonna grate real fresh ginger. I don't need to use that much because ginger is really potent. Badia or whatever, it's really good. I just needed some ground nutmegs, 99 cents. So it's even if you're on a budget and you're trying to cook quality food, healing food, you can do it. You don't have to think that you don't have the means. It smells amazing. Just gonna probably put a pinch in there. And then at the end, I'm gonna whisk it all together. Cinnamon, I'm gonna whisk it all together, and I'm gonna put a little bit of brown sugar in it as well. I'm just gonna add a dash of turmeric. I don't wanna put a ton because turmeric is really gives a strong flavor. Just a dash. Grab some sugar. Yeah, sometimes you have to improvise. Kind of was doing a lot this week on the fly, but it should work out. Sorry guys. I guess people are just showing love right now. So you see that? Getting it together. I want the sugar to cook down and reduce down in it. A little bit of Himalayan salt into it. Let's torch. Okay, so now I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna pour it on top of this. now I believe these are gonna be the best ones I ever made. I feel it in my left titty. I'm actually gonna transfer it because I didn't know I had this pan. I'd rather use this than the aluminum foil. I'm gonna transfer it. I think it'll get a lot better cooking because it's spread out, you know? Take these. Get that juice out. It's been about 10 minutes. Looking good. The Brussels sprouts probably not have to take that long. I might add a little bit more oil to the Brussels sprouts. Now I'm gonna get into the stuffing. I'm gonna actually check these as well. Oh, they're perfect. They're soft. I'm gonna leave them for another couple minutes. I like them when they're really soft. I don't like chunky mashed potatoes. I know some people do. But baby, I'm eating for myself today, so I can do what I want. That makes it really easy. Shout out to you, Earth Balance, for the tablespoon measuring. I know that's right, okay? Split it in half. These are also my grandma. Shout out to Situ, my Lebanese grandma. I have all her old pots and pans. And I mean, honestly, they do cook different. They just hit different. I might add a little seasoning to my stuffing. My mom says not to, you know, she's a little older. Maybe you're watching your sodium, but I believe in flavor, baby. That's how I feel. So I'm gonna add just a little bit, nothing crazy. I'm gonna let this melt down, and then I'm gonna add this to the pot. And then I'm not gonna do it so that it's like extremely soft, but I'm gonna do it kind of like in a, if you think about it, like kind of like a temperature like a steak to like medium, the vegetables. And then I'm gonna add the stock, bring that to a boil. The measurement is gonna be 2 cups. And then I'll add this, mix it together, make sure it's moist, because the worst thing could be right now is dry stuffing. And I don't have my mother with me right now. She's handling her business, so I don't got my spirit guide, so I gotta let my real spirit guides guide me. Really crispy. Right crispy. Organic whole black pepper, because you know, like my nigga Larry Jim said, we like to get organic on the bitch. I'm about to take this off, and I'm gonna dump it so we can just have them prepped and ready when we're ready to put them back. Yes. Good. I'm sorry, I had to do it. Press down on it. That's what you want. Now you know they're gonna mash to perfection. Clean as you go, because it makes it easier. People don't realize the vibration is in line to how clean your space is, you know? So we're gonna add the classic stuffing to the vegetable stock, and then we're gonna mix it in. If the stuffing seems a little too dry, then we'll add more, and then we will then transport it into a glass Tupperware to put in the oven to bake. Remember, we have kind of like a mirepoix in a sense, but we don't have carrots, so it's a different type of mirepoix. Mirepoix is typically onions, carrots, and celery. This one in particular is onions, celery, and mushrooms. Then we're gonna mix it all together. Yeah, I'm feeling like I'm gonna need more vegetable stock. It's not given. I'm smelling Thanksgiving. This made me so happy. I'm just thankful, dog. The Imagine brand, we have the Imagine and we have the Nature Promise. I mean, I try to use as much as I can organic. Then I'm gonna transport it, and then we're gonna basically take the sweet potatoes out of the oven as well. I have 3 more minutes. I think they're good, honestly. To be honest, I don't want it to be too burnt. I want a little bit of crisp. I like my, ooh, perfection. This is how I want my yams to be. I'm sorry. I want my yams to be like new vegan Sinbad. I channeled my vegan soul brothers and sisters, man. And it doesn't smell too sweet, and that was my plan. I don't want like overly sweet yams. Like, I just don't. Sorry. Sorry, but not sorry. And so here, you see how moist the stuffing already is giving, because we have to think it's gonna bake as well. I'm gonna fix it up so it looks pretty, guys. As well, like mix everything up a little bit more quickly. Like I said, we clean as we go, because I'm telling you, honey, I'm not coming home to a trifling kitchen. Oh. Use lemongrass with essential oil. Like, I make sure that everything in our household is clean products, what we use here. Set a timer for 30 minutes for my stuffing. Oh my God, Layla. Just kidding. And I set a kitchen timer. They said 350, so actually I'm gonna lower this to 350. And I'm gonna put this in my oven. And then the next thing we're gonna do is prep. We're gonna just prep the mashed potatoes and get it over with. And then after that, we're gonna do the things that are a little bit more complex, which will be the vegan mac and cheese. Shout out to Laila again. And then also, we're gonna make the fried oyster mushrooms as our meat. And I have a crab cake, but it's pre-made from roots, so I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I'm gonna take that to the family function later where they're eating the flesh. Okay? I'm gonna add the rest of my butter, utilize the rest of my ingredients. And I'm gonna add some milk to it. Yeah, I like Trader Joe's seasonings. One thing I like about seasonings, and I think it's really important to realize, like I think sometimes people are very thrifty when it comes to seasonings. They don't realize there's so many places you can get them for affordable prices. They don't have silicone dioxide in it, which is a free-flowing agent that makes your seasonings not stick together, but it's also over time can affect your respiratory system and your lungs. So it's just a good thing to know. So I just, I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna sprinkle my stuff for love. Some holidays, I'm gonna live good. I'm still eating plants. I'm not perfect. Crush red chili flake to it as well. When I smell it, it smells good. I'm just gonna add a little bit of garlic, just a little bit. Just a little bit, not a lot. So it's coming to a boil. Everything is reducing. And then now we are mashing. These potatoes were done so well. Like everything I'm really grateful for is coming out kind of perfectly right now. If you don't have a potato masher, use a fork, a big fork if you want. You can use, if you eat crabs or something, you could use a crab mallet if you have something like that. Get creative. Just don't use your hands. This is coming out to be perfection right now. You see the consistency of the fluff. And you smell the flavor. Yeah, try some. I wish you could smell the flavor. Cook with love. And to think, shout out to my ex-boyfriend who told me I couldn't cook. Look at me now. Period. I went from cooking barbecue chicken, y'all. Barbecue chicken, basic sweet potatoes, thinking I was doing something, sauteed spinach, to making vegan food. You know why? Because I believed in myself. If you don't believe in yourself, who will? And it all came through trial and error. Nothing's ever gonna be perfect. We all have a perfect, vision in our mind of things. Try one. I don't care. Y'all filming right now. You're in the kitchen right now.
Delicious.
And it's not too sweet. It's like I just wanted a subtle sweetness. Try Brussels sprout. You good? You wanna have a good? Yeah.
It's
cool.
Delicious, bro.
Alright, so right now I'm going to be boiling the noodle. In the meantime, I'm gonna make the batter for the oyster mushrooms. Shout out to Scott Bernhardt, because he's initially the first person I got my fried oyster mushroom recipe for, or from, I should say. I apologize, but basically I just make a own play on mine now, which I really enjoy. I think that with everything you should obviously have someone that inspires you, but then eventually you should be able to make kind of your own spin on everything individually. That's what I at least believe. And then I just add, wow, they added these really cool things so it doesn't mess up. How cool is that? That's dope. Shout out to Bob Red Mill. I love all Bob Red Mill's products, and they're all organic. So I'm gonna add this to it. I use Trader Joe's chickenless seasoning salt. I love it. It only has literally sea salt, onion powder, spices, turmeric, and garlic powder, so it's just really easy to get the component of what you need, And I want mine to be seasoned. It's a little hard. I use my hands a lot while cooking, but I'm clean and I'm eating my own food. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of the crushed red chili flakes to it. I'm gonna add a tad bit of cayenne pepper, a tad bit of lemon juice, and some hot sauce. A little bit of Tabasco. Traditionally, I would use Louisiana hot sauce, but I don't have this, so I have to improvise. I'm gonna add a little bit of garlic powder, just a tad bit. You can also add fresh garlic if you want. It's just whatever you prefer. I'm gonna add some salt, just a little bit. I don't overly, use salt on my food. Just me in preference, because I just don't like that overly taste of feeling dehydrated after you eat. Honestly, like I would look up a bunch of different fried oyster mushroom recipes, and I kind of took everyone's play on it until I figured out my own. And then we're gonna add the milk. Uzo, though he prefers like walnut milk, you can definitely use that as well. It's just I just am using what's easy for me right now, that is accessible and what I have. See how the batter is just loosening up a little bit. Look at the wrist. The timer just went off. So I set it for 30 minutes, it's supposed to be 35, so I'm gonna let it cook for about a couple minutes because I see a little bit of the stock in it, but again, I did not want my stuffing to be dry. Come on, dry stuffing would just have thrown it all off, everything. And I might bake the mac and cheese and put some breadcrumbs on top, and I have some other cheeses like Parmesan cheese to test it. I'm not sure. This is my first time again making it, so I'm gonna play it by ear. How we do this mac and cheese. You guys are gonna be walking with me in this journey. 3 tablespoons, so right up a little extra like I always do. 3 tablespoons, lots of butter. I did take a little piece, guys. I had to be the chef and touch it. Sorry. Right now I'm just, the glass is way better to cook your food in than aluminum and plastic because it can transfer certain toxicities to your body. So I try my best, but I'm not perfect. And if you don't have it at home, please don't feel like you shouldn't do it. Like, I don't like being that vegan. Like, it's like, oh my God, you do that? Like, no, everybody's on their own journey, you know? I'm not here to judge. I'm here to just help and observe and give you a different perspective. Alright, so this is coming to a boil. I'm gonna keep it on low because right now I need to get 3 tablespoons of oil in. Alright, so we're gonna whisk this and we're gonna blend this as well. I've never done this before. We're gonna blend this together. 2 cups of vegetable broth, and then we are gonna add, this is cool actually. Hey, Laila. I get it, because if you see this consistency, I kind of get the common sense logic. You see how the consistency looks like a cheese sauce almost? So it's most likely going to bind everything together to give it that consistency. Shout out to Dudley, because we would have been short without my neighbor giving us this extra one. So we're going to add the Nature's Promise organic one to it. Slowly add it in. Let me drink some water. Then we're gonna add a whole bag of one of my favorite cheeses. It's the VIOLIFE vegan cheese. It's free from dairy, soy, gluten, lactose, and preservatives and nuts. So this cheese is just made out of literally filtered water, coconut oil, food starch, modified potato and corn, vegan sources, olive extract, paprika. It has some B12. Yeah, it has powdered cellulose added to prevent caking. Sun wagon, pale and flour. Dang, that really signifies where I'm at in my life still. I'm gonna give this to my kid. This is so affordable. Vegan butter, 4 sticks of this is only $3, $3.99. Earth Balance, I just get the soy-free one. I mean, it's kind of hard, regardless if you're vegan or not, to stay away from soy products. It just is. So I don't get kind of caught up in it as much as other people do. I don't have an allergy to it, luckily. So I just consume everything in moderation. I think that's the key. So we're gonna add the whole bag of cheese. And Laila said if I feel the need to, I can add more cheese, but I may top it off and bake it in the oven and add breadcrumbs and Parmesan cheese to it and kind of like really make it into what I felt like growing up as a kid. I mean, I love mac and cheese, I can't lie. Cheese was probably the hardest thing for me to give up being vegan, but I loved it. I really did. So I need to find my whisk. Should have one right here. Ooh. See? That was an accident, but things happen. I'm gonna add the whole bag to it and just start whisking it in. So you have to do it slowly, and she said to take your time. I don't worry about being perfect, but in this case, this is my first time. I'm trying to do that. Oh, and I was supposed to add the seasoning to it. Yeah, Laila said at first I was supposed to add the seasoning to the butter, but I didn't, so I'm just improvising. I think it'll be okay. But the cheese is slowly melting into it. If you see, it's thickening up. We want it to be thick like a cheese sauce. My vegan cheese sauce for my mac and cheese, bitch.
You gonna bake it?
I think so. I just, she said you didn't have to, but I just kind of feel like you got to. You got to. And I'm gonna top it off with some more VIOLIFE cheese too, and some breadcrumbs a little bit, and I'm gonna put some Parmesan cheese on top. I think that'll really like, boom, make it my own. You know, splash of her, splash of me. That's what we're about here at Kale Splash of Rose. We're all about community and the collective and uplifting one another. Now I'm gonna add the cheese sauce. Wow, look at that. What is mac and cheese supposed to sound like, guys? Like, a little bit of salt and pepper to it. Put some parsley. I think we're good to go. I'm gonna put a little bit of more cheese and just bake it for probably 15 minutes. And then we'll be good. I'm gonna top it off with some cold beef cheddar. I just think just like to kind of give it that home style mac and cheese, a little bit of mozzarella, and then some Parmesan with a little bit of breadcrumbs. I think that'll just like set it off a little bit just to get, mac and cheese has to be crispy at the top. I really used to miss eating Caesar salads, so when I found this Parm cheese, like I was using another one beforehand, but I chose to go with this one because I like the authenticity of it, of like shredding it. And look at that, like look at that. Like you would know that was not beef, you would not know. All the cheese in this whole recipe or Thanksgiving meal came from VIOLIFE. Shout out to y'all. I really live and love your product. You can usually find it at Whole Foods if you're in the DMV area. Also Mom's, and then Roots, but it's my favorite. And actually shout out to Blackbird Pizza. They actually use and source their vegan cheese from VIOLIFE as well, and that's one of my favorite frozen vegan pizza brands. I recommend everybody to try. Yeah, Thanksgiving every day. Show love. On the final stages, your girl's happy as hell, about to eat, child. Lizzo got food on his camera. You legit look. Usually I get specific type of oyster mushrooms, but I got yellow and I got black. Cause why not? I was at H Mart. Have it up. Leo got life. Same. Alright, the mac and cheese, we're gonna take it off and let it bake. It's coming together and it's getting melted, but I wanted to get that nice crisp that I'm looking for. It's looking really good. You see all the cheese at the bottom, so you know it's gonna be hella cheesy. The trick a lot of people don't know to see if your oil is hot enough is you stick it in here at the bottom of a wooden fork, and then you see the bubbles. Now you know your oil is hot enough to fry. So I usually take it by the tip it in. Oh, this is a perfect batter. It's like the best one I've ever made. Flip it real quick. And then I'm gonna drop it in. You see how it's giving the wing type of. And like my boo, he loves chicken wings, and his birthday's coming up, and I'm getting him all vegan chicken wings. So I ain't getting that nigga though. I'm sorry. I might not use all boxes. I might just use a box and a half and save some. And I might make some barbecue sandwiches tomorrow with the rest of it. And then I can keep a variety of different things. Y'all feeling like, oh, all I got is fried chicken. Right, this is done. Don't it look like chicken though? Oh, yeah, I always need some fresh greens, so I had to make another vegetable side with everything that's going on. Some chili flakes to make it a little spicy. I eat them raw. I eat kale in any capacity. Juiced. Anyway. Yeah, so I like this side wasn't all the way crispy, so I'm gonna like just, you know, stand it up like this. Alright, we're about to add the rest of the mushrooms, and then we're gonna enjoy our dinner. I need to call my best friend real quick. Real quick. Let's see if she answers. Getting all my gravy out. I'm gonna season it a little bit, put some pepper in it. This is really convenient. I got this organic vegan wild mushroom gravy. So it's Thanksgiving. Oh, essential thing about Thanksgiving and the most official thing people let you make it is mac and cheese. Here we're gonna have sauteed kale with some crushed red chili flakes and grapeseed oil with some red onions and some red wine vinegar to give it a little tang. Then we're gonna have some fried oyster mushrooms, fried in spelt flour. We have roasted Brussels sprouts along with mashed potatoes, nice mushroom gravy, and then also some yams with some fresh ginger, nutmeg, cinnamon, and brown sugar, a little bit of Himalayan salt. And then we also have stuffing with mushrooms, celery, and onions, herb stuffing. And then last but not least, we're going to have our vegan mac and cheese topped with 3 cheeses and breadcrumbs and Parmesan cheese. Thank you. So, I was just making this for myself this year because it's my first year spending kind of Thanksgiving alone as a vegan. So I'll just take a little bit. Mac and cheese sounds just right though. I don't even got enough room for everything. Put a little gravy on my stuffing. Happy vegan Thanksgiving, y'all. Okay, mac and cheese. I'm so proud. It was my first time. Oh, I'm gonna be in heaven. You're gonna be in heaven. What you eat some? Thanks for joining us to check out our fabulous Thanksgiving meal. Cause I'm gonna tell y'all, I outdid myself. Ashe. Shout out to Kale Splash and Rose. Shout out to Plant Wish. Stay tuned. Any questions, like, share, comment, please. I'm always happy to help anybody that's trying to take a step into wellness. I'm here for you. So you can hit me up whenever at Milky Baby or Kale Splash and Rose. Thank you so much. Peace, blessings, love and light, family.